What's up? It is another wonderful Thursday. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm not sure what time you're listening to the Chicken Box, but we are here. I'm your host or co-host, Impeccable, along with Jay Jackson. We represent the Afro-American newspaper. Yes, the nation's oldest Black family-owned business, 132 years. I say, wow, every time I say that. But today, this is the Chicken Box. This is a show we created during the right before the pandemic. We thought we were going to be eating chicken and having great conversations, but turned out everybody went online and started to stream. So this is where you speak your truth. And today's truth, we're talking about rising to your highest calling. Man, Jay, how you feel about that title? Does it pump you up a little bit?
It does. I feel like I got work to do when I read the about the guest that we have today. I feel like we got big
We have
shoes to
some
fill.
man rising to your highest calling. We have a power couple, uh, and their journey in life and together coming on to share just some of their experiences, their successes, there's maybe even their trials, and how they made it to their highest calling. So, without further ado, this is the Chicken Box. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're not from Baltimore, I can't assume everybody's from Baltimore. Chicken Box is just four wings and fries, fried up nice and greasy, salt, pepper, ketchup. Some people like hot sauce, with the potato wedges, and you gotta have. In Baltimore, they call it a half and half. Some other places, they just call it Arnold Palmer. But if you go to the wrong place, you're not going to get sweet tea in your Arnold Palmer and you're going to be upset. And so you're going to have to send it back. But let's get into our guest, Jay. I'm ready to go and get into the conversation. Rising to your highest calling. Who do we have joining us on the Chicken Box today?
Okay, we have Lieutenant Colonels Leslie and Herbert Lorfills. They are retiring from the U.S. Army after over 6 decades of combined service. They will celebrate their retirement together in a joint ceremony May 30th, 2025. The Lieutenant Colonel Leslie Lorfills concluded nearly 27 years of service as a human resources officer and director of the Army Wounded Warriors Program. She found her most rewarding experience in supporting soldiers' resilience through warrior games. Lieutenant Colonel Herbert Lorfills retired in November of 2024 after 34 years as a medical logistics officer. With multiple deployments in Iraq, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Korea. He attributes his perseverance to his Haitian immigrant parents' sacrifices. Throughout their careers, the Lorfills balanced demanding military duties with raising 12 children, relying on a strong community support network. They emphasize the importance of mindset and perseverance, quoting, if you think you can do it, you can do it. Looking ahead, the Lorfills are transitioning into business ventures, including transformational speaking, holistic wellness, travel, and legacy building. Leslie has founded Girl Organize That Life, a business dedicated to empowering and supporting busy mompreneurs and executive level moms. And Leslie has been on the show before, so you can go back and
I
listen to
was
that
about to
episode.
say, I heard that before. Welcome
Absolutely.
back. You on mute, Leslie.
Thank you, thank
Welcome
you,
back to
thank
the
you.
show. The
Glad to be
power couple
back.
rising to your highest calling together. Look, he looks like he retired. You see that chair?
I'm
He's
telling you,
sitting
y'all see
on.
that
Yeah, he ready.
goatee? Y'all see that goatee? Oh, you gonna have to shave it for tomorrow.
We're gonna put y'all up there on the same screen so y'all can, digitally hold hands during this show as you have done. How long have you guys been married?
Go ahead, babe. Give the numbers.
It'll be 27 years on well, actually 20 years together since July 7th, 1998. Married since 14 September 1998.
Okay.
Let's hear this beautiful love story before we get into this highest calling. Like, what happened?
Oh, she took her
How did it
glasses
go
off. This is
down?
the story.
How did it go? How did it
Okay.
go down? I want to hear this. Where were y'all?
Remember, it's 2 stories, so I let her tell her story.
No, tell your version first. You get me every time.
This is every married couple. Like, no, you tell your part. You tell your part. Go ahead.
Was it a cold winter day? I mean, what happened?
What?
Paint the picture.
Let me start. Okay, envision me, single man, just got commissioned, graduate from college. Me and my boys walking to a place where officer basic course is about to start, and you see a whole bunch of new individuals, and you see this gorgeous princess Well, I did.
Okay, pause. What part of the country were you in?
We
What
were in
college was it?
Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
San Antonio. Okay.
In San
What
Antonio.
was the college?
I went to Alabama A&M University and
Okay. All right.
college in Virginia.
Like
So
All
East
right.
College, yeah.
we've left campus, commissioned, graduate with our degree. Now we're second lieutenants. And we're about to start this Army course, which was officer basic course, which is a course that every officer that second lieutenant takes, kind of introduce you to the military, what you're going to be doing, what's required of you. So we were in processing, and that's where I saw Leslie just minding her business. Of course, she didn't know who I was. I didn't know who she was. And I knew a friend of hers before I met her. I said, hey, who is that? And her name was Wendy. And she said, that's Leslie Lattimore. So being who I am, not a shy guy, I approached my soon-to-be wife, and she gave me the coldest reception. When I tell you,
See, that's where the story starts to, you know.
Good.
Okay. Well,
she
I
looked
well,
love
at
it.
we're gonna get to
like
your
I
side.
was
Let
from
me hear his side,
planet
Leslie.
Venus. Pick a planet. So she says, I'm Leslie Lattimore. I offered to shake her hand. She barely shook my hand, and I received that cold introduction. So I walked away with my tail between my legs. So now I let her finish the story from there.
All right. Well, this was on base before we pick up. Did she have on civilian clothes or did she have
He
on
had on he had on these shoes that I call, if you ever watch Wonder Woman, the way she had these shoes that straps up with the laces all up to her knee. Amazon woman shoes. She had those shoes on with this outfit that blew me away. Got my attention. So I always tell her, thank you for wearing those Amazon shoes. That
Hey, everybody got a story. I'm not mad at it.
Before there were Amazon shoes, y'all. You tuning into the chicken box. We talk about rising to the highest calling with power couples. Herbert and Leslie, they're sharing their initial love story. We're gonna get into their career work later, but we need to hear Leslie's side because Herbert said it was two sides. So let's see. Let me see it from your side of the field, Leslie.
So everything is pretty accurate, but the handshake wasn't that cold. I mean, it was hot in Texas for Pete's sake. So there was some warmth in my hand, sir, right? No, I call it I was focused. So I may have appeared to be stoic, but I was focused.
And your
He messed up
Amazon
my
shoes.
focus.
Where were you for? Okay. Oh, he messed up the focus. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Everybody needs a little interruption in their focus every now and then, right?
Every now and
How,
again. And I'm so grateful that he interrupted my focus during that time. Thanks, babe.
and so what did you say, 34 years? How many years has it been?
27.
27 together. He served 34 in the military. So before we
Oh,
met, he
34
was
in the military,
previous
27
time. Mhm.
together. And between you guys, you have
A
12
whole
kids?
dozen.
Goodness gracious. God bless you, Herbert and Leslie. You have really risen to your highest call.
Yeah, this is why y'all really deserve retirement. That's amazing. 12 is a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are celebrating. And let me start by saying thank you for your service because everybody doesn't know what you do and you don't share everything that you guys do and have to go through and experience. I mean, I've been to some of the different army bases around the world and just keeping the morale and everything else as you're moving through whatever task you have to do until you can get back to some normalcy. If there is something called that uh, is a special task, and I say thank you. So Jay, jump in.
Yeah, look, there's a lot. I mean, 27 years together and these storied military careers. I'm sure there is 1.5 million stories. But what I'm interested in is you have these 12 kids, and then Herbert, you did multiple deployments overseas in Iraq, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and I assume South Korea, not North Korea. How was that being away from each other? Was that before you had kids, or did you have some kids at that time? Like, how did you guys manage that connection during those times? Because I can't imagine that was easy.
That was not easy. We had kids. I think we started having kids. We had our
Early.
old.
Every
So
day. I mean, 12 kids. Go ahead.
we once we learn how the process work, we begin working on having these children. So I was tell a joke about it. I was asleep, so it was not my fault.
And
But
I was
anyway,
asleep, so I don't even know how this could happen. If
Yeah,
both
fair
of
enough.
us is-
That's
so
logistics. That's fair.
the deployments were hard, because when my wife we calculate together. I've missed like 5 years um, away from my family that I can't ever get back. And what I try to do when I return, I try to somehow, um, try to replace that time that I miss with my children and my wife. You can't ever do that.
Right.
But what we did was connect as often as possible, video calls, care packages, phone calls, to keep connected. Because while you're away and dealing with things that I didn't share some things with her until I think this year I shared some things with my wife that I kept hitting away from her because I didn't want her to worry.
Mm.
Um, because you have to be in that environment to understand what I'm talking about, and it's not always fun. I just think by the grace of God that I'm still here with my mental state, my physical being, and able to be sharing this story with you guys right now. So to answer your question, um, connecting as often as possible, but that journey was not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Leslie, what are your thoughts on that?
Hmm. Yes, as he stated, between the two of us, though we both deployed, he did most of it. I think the longest I was gone, a total of 10 months between a schooling and
Wow.
my deployment. I left a child, she was about, I think, 10 months old or something. That was hard because I had never left any of my kids, number one, and
Right.
to leave one so young. Oh gosh. Yeah, that was tough. But the dichotomy to that, for me personally, because I was someone's wife and someone's mom for so long, you don't realize when you're wifey and mommy, and I'm sure my husband can say the same from his perspective, but I did lose myself along the way without realizing it. So, though it was hard to be away from them, it was also a time of renewal and reset. Um, because I had time to see about Leslie. I knew my kids were in great hands with their father. I had no worries that whatever needed to be done, dad could handle it and could do it and do it well. So it gave me a time to navigate the danger that you're in, number one, and processing that. But how I was able to escape worrying about that every day. I taught Zumba. I did CrossFit. I was the healthiest I had ever been. Started to chisel my body back down to pre-baby size, and just had time for me. I didn't have to worry about, anybody during that time. And I guess some people could say, well, that doesn't feel like selfish. Well, no, I would say selfless because I had 6 months to kind of recharge Leslie
Right.
and get to know me, be reacquainted with myself. Um, but there were hard times. Holidays would come. I'm not with them. I would send videos home. Hey, this is mom. Merry Christmas, and stuff like that. Missing birthdays, missing activities. My son and husband were on Friday Night Tights televised series of football for the young people. I missed out things like that, and then just regular stuff. Deal recitals, cheer competitions, school PTA meetings, assignments. You miss those things. I don't. Any good parent or any parent with a conscience, yeah, you can have time for yourself, but you're gonna miss your family, I would
Of
think.
course. Of
So
course.
I did have moments where I was like, man, I'm ready to get home and see them, but I did also leverage that time to recharge and be reacquainted with me. Um, when he was gone and I was home, after a while, I had to figure out, okay, how do I not become so overwhelmed? And I really just started empowering my kids so I could have a 2 year old, for example, and hey, you hold the dustpan down, and then the 4 year old, you sweep the trash into the dustpan, and
Mm.
teaching them how to keep up and clean up behind themselves and owning their own spaces because that's a lot. I mean, even now that they're older, I'm like, oh my God, maybe I need to be younger. But teaching them to help mom out while dad is away, because dad
Right.
was away a lot. And people ask, well, how did you do it? Well, I have my kids. I probably stretched them, and I think they appreciate it now that they're older.
Right.
Things that we try to, teach them when they're younger. Be self-sufficient, and you have to help. If you want to eat dinner tonight, big sister, great. Fix your brother's plate first.
Right.
Your
Right.
little brother, or things like that, and just really teaching my kids leadership while dad was away, particularly if my oldest son was home at the time. I was careful about calling them the man of the house, because they're not really the man of the house, but you are going to help fill in for dad while he's away and help mom out. So things like that. It ebbs and flows. It's definitely not easy being away from your family for any length of time like that. Not if you care about them on some level. But you can try to leverage it when you have that time to yourself. I know my husband said when he was away, he worked out, and he had his me time too, because we all needed it. But yeah, we appreciate being home together. So
Okay.
we prefer to be at home together.
So yeah, I do find I find it remarkable that you guys were able to manage that. I'm sure there was a lot of family involved and helping out where they could and things like that too. But for either one of you to be the lone parent during those deployments, Leslie, where were you deployed? You said overseas a few times. Where were you deployed? Afghanistan as well. Was this sort of in the height of things? I mean, I guess it's always in the height of things, but
so by the time I went, it was still pretty, busy. But they had built up infrastructure a lot. I think like
okay.
my husband, when they were getting started, so where
Wow.
it was more austere for him than it was for me.
Okay. All right. Sorry if people are having a little bit of trouble. I think your mic is dropping out a little bit. Oh, okay. I'll push it over to you, Herbert. So during these times, while you guys are, you're deployed, you're kind of going back and forth and things like that. When you got home, what were the first things you wanted to do? I mean, obviously just hug everybody, I'm sure, but were there things about just being home that just felt, I don't know, like you said, you can't go back to, you lost those 5 years, but what were things that you were just I got to make up time on XYZ? What were the things that you just missed the most?
Well, the military did a good job preparing for reintegration. Number one, they would tell you that your wife or your spouse had a process while you were away. So you try not to come in guns blazing, no pun intended, and try to jump in and mess up the process. So what I would do is I would first, connect with my wife. So and disrupt the process. It took a while. Like for example, our son Darius, I think he was 2. When I came back, he literally was afraid of me. So I had to adjust to that process because he didn't remember what it was, and that was kind of painful. But I understand he's a baby, he's a young man trying to find himself. So I had to figure a way to reintegrate myself with him. Any of the bills, how my wife was paying them, any type of chores that was being done. So I had to kind of adjust to how they had it, and kind of eventually fall into how we did it in the past, to where I had something, she had something. But the military did a good job of telling you not to come in and force things the way they were while you were away. Because I spent 15 months in Iraq. That's a year and 3 months. That's a lot.
It's a long time.
Spent another year in Qatar, spent another year in Korea, multiple 6-month deployments in Afghanistan. So it wasn't. You learn to not come in and force, per se, how you were before. Just kind of adjust to what was happening because they made it work away from you. So why come in and mess up the process? So that's what I try to do. So to answer that question, I would, my son's football. He enjoys football. We would watch games together. My wife, of course, do the date night process away from the kids. You have in a marriage, there's the marriage and there's the parenting.
Right.
So that's two separate lives. So I try to reconnect with her. Make sure that she's okay, what she needs from me, and vice versa, and then try to find time for each individual kid. So at the time I was deployed, some of the kids weren't, it wasn't 12, it was from 6 to 7 to 8. But for some reason, every time I came back from a deployment, the number grew. So I don't know how that process works. But that seemed to work a lot for my deployments. But not being funny, but that's a very a turbulence time if you don't do it properly, because you're coming in with wanting to do so much. They're coming in trying to keep the boat afloat, and if you're not in the same sheet of music, you can cause more harm than help. So you have to be careful how you do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Welcome back, Leslie.
Hi.
I don't know why. Listen, we have these beautiful Black stories and Black couples, and they want to mess with our internet connection today. We're not having it. We're gonna push through. We're talking to the power couple. Here's how you say it in the hood, Lorfills. But let's tell us how the name is truly pronounced. You said it's a French name. It's Lorfils.
Lorfils.
Lorfils. The L is silent.
Yes.
All
So,
right.
but in Haiti, they were colonized by the French. So
Right.
and that's where the name is originated from.
We just gotta take the L out, Lorfils. I think we got it. You know what I mean? Oui, Lorfils. Do you speak French?
Yeah.
Gotta have.
You gotta put the little into it. Welcome to the Chicken Box, y'all. Listen, life be life, and they're really telling you. I mean, they use this word a few times. Why don't you explain to the people who may be watching this in the future, or have never heard or don't understand anything about Army being in the service, what deployment is? Anybody?
Deployment is when the United States government has a mission set for a particular unit that you are part of. Sometimes it's overseas. We know that the wars in Afghanistan, the wars in because of 9/11. So that particular military unit, people that form an organization, and based on the mission, pick a unit. And I happen to be in the unit that was being picked. So they send you overseas to basically fight for our freedom. So the word deployment, so you literally sacrifice life, possibly, to make sure that loved ones back in the rear, i.e., my wife and my children, are safe from any more 9/11 issues that we had. What happened in New York, Pennsylvania, and DC. So that's what deployment is. You're literally leaving the United States, going overseas to fight an adversary that wants to do harm to the people of the United States.
Man, that's real too. Thank you again, Herbert and Leslie, and everybody else who served in the military, keeping our borders safe so that we don't look like Gaza on TV. But that's a whole nother conversation. We don't even want to get into that right now.
I have a question. Can you please explain? I know what it means, but I know there are going to be people who don't. Herbert, can you please explain your shirt? Right, you have DD 214, America's official man card. I love this.
This shirt, well, the DD 214 is the actual exit form that you receive as a soldier when you exit the military. Either you do 4 years, 8 years, but you're exiting out of the military. That's the form that you have for your person to say, I serve in the military honorably. So this shirt basically that I served, and then they added the America's man part, but it was a very fitting shirt, so I ended up purchasing it for myself. I want to find one for my wife, but it doesn't say where this one. She is not a man.
And
But when I wear it, I always get attention from people like, "Hey, thank you for your service. I love your shirt." So today, I just wore it today because at times I have that feeling to wear it.
And Leslie, you just got your DD 214 you were talking about right before we went on air. Like you literally just got your form today. That's amazing. Yeah, frame it, put it in a safe or something. Amazing.
So you have to. You send it to the VA. Make sure they have a copy of it. So that's the most important part.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, that's deeply important.
Leslie,
Now-
your microphone is sounding like you are out in the field, and we're trying to get communication. Leslie, are you okay?
I am like listening closely to what y'all are saying.
I don't know what happened to your mic. You were sounding so crystal clear. And are you in a military operation right now?
Do I sound clear to y'all?
No. It sounds like you're underwater.
Yeah, it's cracking. You sound
That's how y'all sound to me too.
really.
I think everybody's having a problem. Like my co-host said, anytime you want to talk about these important things, suddenly the internet doesn't work. So who knows? What are your kids? Are your kids pretty excited about this event tomorrow? Like how are they around this? I mean, this has got to be like this is such a massive part of their lives, but it feels like this part is like kind of coming to an end, and they get you, like they get a hold of you.
I think right now they're in the kids zone.
Okay.
I don't think it's registering. I think it's going to register tomorrow when they see it. Right now, it's another day in the life of. And with this,
run down the ages, guys.
Yeah. But it's not.
I'm gonna do it this time. Leslie from 30. We have a 25-year-old. No, let me stop while I'm ahead. Babe, give the age correctly. Running the ages down.
Oh, she had to dip out. I don't think our connection is very good.
Yeah, man, we can mess it up. This is the Chicken Box. We're talking to Herbert and Leslie.
So we have a 6-year-old oldest, and then the youngest is 6. So I'm gonna start to the beginning. The 6-year-old, he just turned 6. That's Jeremiah. Lance will be 8 in August. The baby girl, Hope, just turned 8, 21st. And then we have the Layla, she'll be 13, July the 4th. And then we have Elijah, he'll be 15, June 1st. And then we have Krista, who just turned 17, the 17th of May. We have Jessica, who just turned 15, the 19th of May. Then we have Darius, who will be 22 November. Then we have Antoinette, who will be 25 December. So we have 2 holiday babies. We have Latasia. Oh, by the way, Antoinette just got commissioned, graduated from North Carolina A&T. She's going to vet school. Darius will be graduating this year. Bowling Green, a 4-year football defensive back, praying that he gets an opportunity to play in the NFL. Latasia, who's our first lieutenant, Morgan State grad. She is serving currently in South Korea. She just flew in yesterday. So she's serving. Then we have our daughter, Julanda, who Tasia is 25. Julanda is 26. She's a dental assistant in Selma, Alabama. And our oldest is a Marine, He did 4 years. He'll be 30 the 26th of July. With my math,
Man,
7 girls and 5 boys.
Wow.
Herbert, you are the man. I'm telling you, listen, you ain't
You guys ain't
you
wasting no
know,
time.
I mean, if you walk by her, she got pregnant, huh? Just like, hey, you ain't had to even touch it. You just, I'm pregnant again. What? Listen,
When I
you know what it felt like as we were listening, and to God, every single detail is super important. I don't know where you are and what your belief is, but it's in certain chapters of the Bible that you're reading, and he's going into some numbers and names, and I want to just skip it and just go to the next chapter, but he is detailing everybody's, and I love how you just detailed all of your children by name, and you just and that's 12 kids. I mean, I don't know if it was just me. I mean, I was lost counting. I ran out of fingers.
Well, let me just add to that. With our faith, we are very a faith driven family. If we didn't beginning, with the things people say, life be lifing. If we did not lean on our faith, 5 deployments. My wife did 1, 27 years of military, and 34 years. This is not from our strength. I can tell you that now. We were the face of this family, but God and our village were the pillar of why we are here today. So we definitely believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and He has been instrumental in what we do and how we raise our children and how we deal with each other. We stump our toes in the lifing process of life a few times, and God has always been faithful to our family. I wanted to make sure that is put out there in the airways when they look at us. I want people to see that we are a God-fearing family, that we believe that God is the ultimate keeper of why we are where we are today.
Herbert, when we look back in the annals of time, or when the future looks, the archives used to be pictures in newspaper. It is now going to be this video. So you have made that clear. And when they go back and they search your names and the history, that is going to be front and center. That God did it.
God did it.
Absolutely. We can do a mic drop there. I mean, you are the example of be fruitful and multiply. Everybody else trying to say, no, I'm not having no more kids. Y'all said, you know what? Next.
You forgot I was asleep. It was not my fault. So remember?
Same. I want
Both
to know
y'all
how the stork.
I think y'all both need counseling on sleepwalking. Something happens at night.
We need to have cable. Cable is not part of our family process.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Well, hey,
There's your solution.
They had enough friends and fun. Your house was never quiet. I'm sure.
God. It's never quiet. If you're married to
say never. I mean, you do get quiet sometimes. You be wondering, okay, what are they doing? Why are you so quiet?
Right. Well, what are they up to?
When they're quiet when they're asleep, but the house is always and I think sometimes when they're not around, we're like, what's happening? Why is so quiet? But I told my wife, I said, listen, you know what? We just gonna continue to stay in prayer and prepare these people to be positive society members and get them out here and then start their own journey. And that is the goal that we have. That's what I promised my parents. That's what they did for me. And we just want to make sure that our babies are set up for success in this world that's unforgiving at times.
Absolutely.
Man, Craig Calvin, so yeah, that's a different type of sleep. Man, thank everybody who's listening in, Rico, or anybody else. Share this message of Black love. I mean, they have not only made it with 12 kids, made it through 27 years of marriage. They have also both of you guys are in the Army. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Both in the Army.
Or
We have one son that's a Marine, but the majority of us are Army.
does the Army look at the family and say, we're not going to deploy both at the same time? Both parents.
That is, if you would think that, but that is the Army look at us as two soldiers, individuals that's happen to be married. We, Leslie and I, need to figure a way how to make sure our children are good to go while the mission is set. Example, Leslie's only deployment. She went to Afghanistan for 6 months. I saw her for 2 weeks, and then I went to Afghanistan for 6 months. So in between that time, there's a possibility. We've seen people that had to leave their entire family. Both couples are deployed simultaneously at the same time. So if you're needed, Uncle Sam, is all about mission focus. Yes, they take care of families, but it's your job to make sure your family is okay. So we had to make sure, again, back to our faith and village, that we had that nice setup, that we did not miss anything, because we signed up for it. We're in the military. We understand what the process is. We need to make sure our family is set, and we did that through faith and the village that we call extended family that assists us with our children.
I hear a lot of birds chirping. So where is retirement? I mean, where's the retirement home, or what state are y'all going to settle in on?
Right now, we are in Maryland. We have I'm sitting here in front of our house right now, but we have property in Texas. Ultimately, this is where we want to be, but we know God has his plan. We have our plan. So right now, Maryland seems to be the place, and this is where we're going to settle down and write the second book, as my wife called it, not the chapter of our lives.
Right. How do you guys? I mean, we talked to Leslie probably a number of months ago about her business, Girl Organized at Life. But as I talked about earlier, you guys are both looking at doing sort of business ventures. Are you planning on doing sort of separate business ventures? Are you doing any together? How do you see sort of retirement? Is it just kind of like you're just sort of winging it, or are you guys actually going to have a chance to come together and do something?
As of right now, the Girl Organized that Life it takes a lot of us. So we're going to try to venture into real estate, but I'm also looking for employment to make sure that we have our safety net.
Sure.
We don't want to just both of us jump into that venture. Entrepreneurship doesn't automatically become profitable at the time that you jump in it. So because we still have children, we still understand how that side of the world is, and I'm going to be working, support her in the venture of that organization, and then if things work out, God willing, the way that we think it will work out, then eventually I'll stop working and then focus on that. But as of right now, I'm looking for employment. So if you know anyone that's want to hire a 34-year medical logistic master's degree individual, I'm your man.
Yeah, it is. That's a digital resume, y'all. You're turning into the chicken box. We're talking to Herbert and his beautiful wife Leslie. They have 12 kids together, 27 years of marriage, and 34 years in the military, if I got that right. They have 12 healthy kids, 5 boys, 7 girls, and a few of them are in the military, some graduates, and we might even have somebody in the NFL to let's speak it. We have someone that's going to the NFL because I want tickets. Herbert, I asked for him first. I don't care what team you play for, but just give me some tickets. I'll come check him out. Where is he still in college now, or has he graduated?
He's in college. He's at Bowling Green University in Ohio. He is number 9. His name is Darius Lorfills. He was number 9. His head coach is Eddie George.
Okay.
So that's awesome.
They have the first game 31 August in Ohio. So we will be there in the stands. First game for Eddie George, and Darius Lorfills is his name. He was at number 9, my old high school jersey.
Number 9. Look out for number 9 in Bowling Green, Eddie George. Congratulations. Herbert, you shared a lot and we've had your wife on by herself before. I don't know why her phone starts dropping. Craig Talley was like, how does she serve when she's really pregnant? But they did it. I don't think it's 13 coming. As a baker's dozen gonna happen or what?
Baker's dozen has exit the premises. So.
Fair enough.
Look at Leslie. Leslie, she
Well,
perked up.
You came in at the right time. Perfect timing.
I said Baker's dozen has exit the premises.
Exited. Oh, okay.
Yeah, surprise. No.
Well, unless y'all sleep together again, sleepwalking.
Hey,
That's funny.
That's our story, and that's what we'll stick with it. That's my story.
So welcome back, Leslie. I know it seems like it's been a technical challenge after technical, but that's the resilience that you have to have. Tell me what it means when you hear the words rising to the highest calling.
Dying to self and your own thoughts and yielding to what the Holy Spirit is telling you. To me, that's the only way you're going to really do that. We have stories that we tell ourselves. I can't, I won't, I should, I'm too short, to this, to that. And those are barriers in my mind. But if we lean into what God says you are and who you are and whose you are, you have no choice but to get there. But that's the hard part. This thing called the flesh, Herbert and I talk about it all the time. It wants what it wants, and the heart is deceitful. So if we don't recognize those things, we will always let the stories win, the stories that we tell ourselves win, instead of yielding to, okay, God, what is your calling for me? Where do you want me to make a difference in the world? Where do you want me to make a difference in my family, the lives that I touch? So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm not trying to be too deep or nothing, but that's where I'm at with it.
Well, you know what? Everybody has their formula that they win with. Everybody don't believe everybody's formula, but then it's people who keep winning, and they tell you that formula, and you're like, that's garbage. But yet they winning, and you losing. I'm gonna just let that sink in the airwaves of somebody. But anyway, I'm on your team, Herbert and Leslie. You can think you want to do something, and you can do it, and you can think you can't do something, and you won't do it. And then it's the I call them the negative nobodies in the world. And then you listen to them. They're not doing anything positive, but talking negative. But they done said something about you that now you've processed into your mindset. And so now you then again stopped your progress to your highest calling. Herbert, what you think about that highest calling? Rising to your highest calling.
For me, I have I can piggyback on what my wife said. I won't repeat what she said. But for me, like you read earlier, I have I'm an immigrant of Haitian parents, and I had opportunity to live very stoic, powerful country, but also a struggling country. My dad said something to me one day. I was at home. I think I got in trouble. I was like 8 years old. He's no longer here with us. He's passed at the age of 62. But he said to me, I did not bring you here for you to waste the opportunity that this country has to offer. So when I think about that statement and I compare it to my faith, comparing it being, a husband and a father of a 14-member family, I have to look outside of me, number one, because someone sacrificed for me. And if you think about the history of Black people, and even in this country where people have sacrificed for us to have the opportunity to even have this conversation, for me to have a home in Maryland, for me to walk in this free country that we call it, someone sacrificed for you. So I tend to remember that history that foundation that was laid for me, and everything that I do. So it's not always about me. Now, in my family, what I do affects not only me, it affects my wife, it affects all those 12 beautiful babies that God gave us the opportunity to raise. And as I was going down the list, I gave you the numbers, who's done what. We've had 2 college grads already. Next year it'll be 3. You know, that is not something that just happened because you woke up one day and your kid is walking, you know, on stage. You had to put in some work. You have to be self. So I just think about what people has done for me when I was younger, what my parents did to even get to this country from Haiti, and the sacrifice that they made. And I don't want to disappoint them. I refuse to disappoint them because if they did not make that sacrifice, I wouldn't know you guys today. I would be there in a country and not even know I exist. And then I would have met my beautiful wife, and God would not have blessed me with the family that we have today, that we can be discussing the story. So if we think about who we are as a people, there's some things that should keep us from disappointing our ancestors, or disappointing, God, disappointing, your spouse or your parents or your children. So for me, that's what carries me throughout my life. And I just thank God that I had this opportunity to be in this country, to do what I do. Man, this opportunity for me to share the story because it's bigger than me.
Man, I'm about to tear
That's
up a little
powerful.
bit. It's big.
That's
It is
powerful.
bigger than you. It is definitely bigger than you, man. Man, kudos to you, bro. Herbert, I've been over there and I've talked to some soldiers. I mean, but you're a soldier not only in the army, but it just in life.
Yes, sir.
And men keep stuff in all the time. We share whatever part we need to share to shut you up, and then we gone and we shut it down. But the more we open up, the more we can all grow. And sometimes, like you said earlier, heal from things that you didn't even know you needed healing from.
Sure.
But that's gonna be another show. Jay, what's on your mind?
Look, Herbert, you just said something I thought was really interesting, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever seen that statement, which is, I am my ancestors' wildest dream, right? And I feel like that's kind of where you are, just like directly to your parents, like your dad's statement to you, and not wasting those opportunities. Is that a big thing that you work to instill in your kids, of like, yes, you are here, but like, look at where your grandparents got me, and then look where I'm kind of pushing you up. Take the ball and run with it, right?
The funny thing about that is when they were younger, I tried to implement some of that same conversation with them. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, as if you guys are parents, you know how it is. The kids, you're talking, you like you're talking to the wall. But as they were, like, some of my daughters were applying for scholarships, they would use that story. They used that story that I gave them, and they won scholarships from those stories. So I would tell parents, don't stop talking to them, even if you think they're not listening. They hear you, right? And it's like putting a seed, keep watering it, and then it's going to blossom into this fruit, this tree that came from that seed. So yes, I would share that story with them, and they would come back, and then to hear my daughter say, "You know what? We're different, Dad. I understand now." And they have gravitated through the story, what my dad shared, and then they do their own research about Haiti, about being the first free Black, nation in the Western Hemisphere. How to beat Napoleon from France. They did their own research as adults, college grads, and they share that with through writing papers and applying for scholarships. Yes, I will not stop speaking that into them because it works, and I've seen the fruit of that labor.
Yeah, they come from a very powerful history. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is interesting, right? Like as a parent, my daughter is 6, much like you said your son is just turned 6 as well. And yeah, you say things and you're like, there's no way they're listening to any of this. Like they're just like yeah, I'm gonna go back to play. And then you hear them repeat these things to other people, and they're like, yeah, no, this is a thing I believe. And you're like, oh, like it is getting through. It is getting through. And I have to imagine, especially when your kids get to college and those sort of life lessons are really, they start to kind of bubble up on the surface. And it's a weird, like, oh, why didn't they tell me they were listening? But also like you're proud, like, yeah, I did that. Like that's me. I hear myself, reflected. So I have to imagine with 12 kids, that is like, it's a process you're now used to, sort of like, all right, here it comes. Like, here comes those words back to you, but it's still got to be powerful every time.
It is. It never gets old.
Yeah, I imagine.
And every one of them have their own way of showing it back to you, right? And they receive it so differently, and so that's why you have to be present. Being present and being available and being consistent. Those words as a parent, that is all I can share when someone asks me, man, how did you do it? Well, number one, there's no written rule and instruction in doing that. Right. You have to be patient, you have to be consistent, you have to be available, you have to be there for them because they don't know what they don't know. You didn't know what you didn't know when you were growing up. Right. And don't tap out. Stay in the ring. Stay in the fight because it's worth it. They're worth it. So yes.
We're gonna drop the mic almost on that. Listen, when you said I made an acronym, it's called the PAC, PAC. You said be present, be available, and be consistent. I'm gonna give y'all a new thing y'all can run with the family. Y'all can start the PAC. The Lorfills PAC. Present, available, and consistent. Leslie, we are wrapping the show up. We've seen you come and go. She's working on getting out of the service. She got her papers. Y'all remember how I used to feel when it was the last day of school and you just threw your notebook up?
Oh man. Right.
Or away or somewhere. You had right.
That's right.
She has her retirement papers in hand. Just
in
got
hand.
it today. Final thoughts, Leslie. You've been on the show before, but just final thoughts you want to share. Your husband has been doing a fantastic job.
He is awesome like that. That's why I married him.
Right. He said you was cold as ice long ago.
That was just an illusion.
He said that was just an illusion. He said he caught you at a stoic moment, but he put it down in his sleep. Sleepwalk 12 kids, y'all. I love it. I'm about to go to sleep tonight and see what happens.
The sequel.
Right.
Final thoughts. And I'm gonna try to glean what I think y'all may have talked about. I came in on the end of the PACT acronym: being present, accountable, and consistent. I think this was available and consistent.
Available and consistent.
That is who we try to be as parents, as spouses, as human beings. A lot of people in the world are dealing with a lot of things, especially now. And that acronym, I think, is so fitting for the current times, and that we just have to remember to keep the main thing the main thing. A retired Sergeant Major once told me when I was a young captain, I think I was stressed or worried about something. I don't know what it was, but he said, I want you to remember this and carry this with you. Don't sweat the small stuff, and everything is small. And not to minimize anything, but that statement has stuck with me. I don't always follow it. Even this week, my husband will tell you today. He would say he had to coach me. I'm normally the coach, but he had to coach me. It's okay, breathe. Everything is going to work out. And we just have to remember that. And one thing that my husband says too that is just so good to me. He says it's only a moment. It's only a moment. So whatever that thing is, it's temporary. And we just have to try to respond to it in such a way that's going to keep us healthy, not make us stroke out, because that's the reality of what stress can do. And possibly shorten your lifespan unnecessarily because we're worrying about something we absolutely cannot control. The Serenity Prayer is a good one. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, encourage me to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I think if we just walk with that every day, live right, love hard, and do and act in the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, we can't go wrong. Even when life tries to life, we'll go with it, and we'll go through it effortlessly in that vein, as far as where we take our minds. Where the mind goes, the man follows, like Joyce Meyer says. So put your minds in a great place and everything else will follow that.
Man, if y'all don't have, we're gonna get some real gems on this one. You got to dig back. You guys have to rewind it. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all the secret. They got some AI tools out there that you can just put the video link in, and it will take full notes for you. You can have all of these beautiful gems, and you don't even have to do hard work. Isn't that wonderful? Anyway, if you heard something, you might not have heard it, and if you didn't hear it, that means you still sleep, and you need to wake up, because all of the things are small. Those are my final words. Everything's a small thing, except God. He's a big deal.
It's a big
But
deal.
the little things, my mother used to always say, don't major in the minor. If the toilet seat is up,
Yes.
put it down. If the sock is on the floor, pick it up. You don't need to tell her, the sock is on the floor. You left that stupid sock on the floor. You just pick it up. You know what I mean? That's why they gotta help me. I'm talking to couples and people who want to be future couples and how to get along. Don't major in the minor. We lost Leslie. Leslie, we love you. Herbert, Jay Jackson, final words. We're gonna leave the final words for Herbert Lorfils. Did I say it right?
Lorfills.
Lorfils. Lorfils. Okay, go.
So I'll just give a quote. Herbert, thank you. Leslie, thank you for being on the show. It was really great conversation, really enlightening. And I think you guys have a heck of a story to tell. Just kind of amazing. So I know you guys are working on your second book of your life, but I don't know. I feel like you guys should write a book together, because there's so much that you guys have. But I'll end it on a quote by Stephanie Lahart, who is an author. She says, quote, "Dear Black fathers and Black mothers, let's give our children gifts that truly matter. The gifts of being positive role models, the gifts of showing them what genuine love looks like and feels like, the gift of spending quality time with them, the gift of making them feel wanted and loved, the gift of open and honest communication, the gift of hearing and listening to them, the gift of guidance, support, and friendship. Let's set them up for greatness by investing in them early in life, by preparing, teaching, educating, and empowering them." And that's exactly what it sounds like you, Herbert, and Leslie have done for your kids, all 12 of them. And I think because you have shown them such an amazing path that you guys both went on together and separate to some degree, right? And then came back together in all of that. I think you're setting them up for a major amount of success, all 12 of them. So thank you for putting a whole dozen people in the world who are going to likely do amazing things and just be good people and great role models for everyone else. So thank you.
Man, thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I have a half a dozen, Herbert, so I kind of halfway know what you've gone through. But man, make that pact. Be present, available, and consistent in everything you do, and I think you'll win. I think that's a winning formula, Herbert. We got to make a pact, and y'all make a pact to support the Afro. We've been here 132 years, sharing real stories about real people of color, especially African Americans, or just people of color all over the country. If we don't tell our stories, who's going to tell it? That's why Black media was started, and that's why we're going to continue to push. And that's why we ask that you support us. Go to afro.com, get a subscription. You want to know what a good gift is to somebody? Give them a digital subscription. You can come right to their email. Or if you like the newspaper, $100 a year, you might go out to eat one time, $100. That will give you the digital subscription and the newspaper. That is how we continue to reach more people and to get the word. When you want to know what the truth is in our community, stop by afro.com and you're going to find it. We thank you for this true story today, Rising to Your Highest Calling. We had Herbert and Leslie Lorfils. There you go. Ha. You see, you know what I mean? I'm getting my little français on. But Herbert, your last final words, my friend. It has been a wonderful conversation with you guys today.
No, just want to thank you for the opportunity. I am a big advocate of showing positive vision of our community, because if we don't do it, you know what they're gonna do. So I want to I start with that with myself, and then my family, and then venture out to the community. But that's been a dream of mine. Ultimately, I want to be that example for that young black man that doesn't have a father figure, that can maybe look at this particular video and say, hey, you know what, I can do it. And that's basically all I want, and I pray for every day, because we have a powerful lineage as black people, and we need to focus on that instead of all of the negativity and drama that society or the networks can show about us. So thank you again for this platform. So hopefully, prayerfully, that I'm able to add another positive block to that wall of positivity for black people.
We're gonna have your 12 children on one day. That's gonna be a show.
A lot of blocks. A lot of blocks.
A lot of blocks. We're gonna get some of y'all gonna have to sit together next to each other, but we're gonna have them all in on the chicken box. Until next time, remember, call the senior. They'd love to hear from you. Don't text them. Call them. Take 5 minutes out your day and call the senior before you're calling everybody in the family for the funeral. So I'm gonna leave on that message. This has been another fantastic chicken box, rising to your calling. Leslie and Herbert, thank you for sharing your story. And again, thank you for your service, because you didn't have to do it. You made a choice to do it. And it's been a blessing keeping us and our borders safe. You guys just don't know what happens at night when you're asleep. Herbert and Leslie and them out there getting it, and many others. And thank you again for your service. And we know the military hasn't always been great to us, either as black people and as women in the military. And you guys have managed to do it for such a long time. Congratulations on your retirement. And we look forward to all of the fantastic stories about you and your family and the impact you make in the community. Till next time, everybody at Team Afro Asia, our producer, Jay Jackson, and Dr. Draper, who is somewhere changing the world. We will see you soon. Herbert, you got something?
No, I was just saying thank you.
Just waving. Oh, you put the finger up like the church. I said, one more thing.
I did.
It's our show. We got it. You're now in history. Thank you again. Thank you, Jewel, Craig, and anybody else who decides to share this information. We appreciate you. Have a great day, everybody.